So welcome everyone to Soulful Sunday. This is our chakra meditation series. And today we're going to be focusing on the heart chakra. And so when it comes to the heart chakra, one of the most beautiful postures we can take is just a very basic back bend to help open us up. All right, so we're going to begin with our bolsters down on the ground, lying back and getting into a comfortable way. Now, as we do this, you might want to bring a head pillow, right? You might want a blanket, right? You might want all sorts of objects to help support you. However, I'm going to show without because again, you're going to want to see the breathing patterns. And again, just open up the legs, let everything relax, open up the arms. And this is where this class sort of is an evolution of the restorative practice, right? So we're not just doing restorative movements, but we're evolving out of those restorative movements. We're starting and then we're moving into sitting. And then from sitting, we're having a meditation using mantra, using yantra, right? Visuals and sounds that we are creating as co-creators in this practice. So lying down on your backs, getting into a comfortable way, squeeze your glutes, release your glutes, relax, let everything just come to the floor very comfortably, right? And all this happens, just relax, close your eyes, go inside and take a deep breath in and a deeper breath out. That's 10. All the way in. All the way out. That's 9. Eight. Seven. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Inhale, hold. And as we inhale, hold, bring your hands to your heart chakra, bring your hands to your heart nice and comfortably, and hold your breath. Focusing your internal attention, your internal drishti on your heart center, and then expanding a little bit more for 5, 4, feeling yourself expanding, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, release it all. See if you can hold it out for 10, 9. Keep your rib cage in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale. Open up those arms. Good. Now we're going to do a Kapalabhati from here. Pumping the abdomen, pumping the abdomen, pumping the abdomen. Skull cleansing. If it's too much through the mouth, change to the nose at any time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, exhale, exhale. Hold the breath out. Reach for your knees for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, relax back. Holding the breath, supercharging that heart chakra. Now relax back, open up the arms, massage, and feel internally. 2, 1, exhale, let it go. Wiggle everything out. Feel, feel, feel. Beautiful. From here, bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Remember in Kundalini class where we used to do those taps to the floor. So again, this is where the restorative comes in. We would do this tap and we would get that sort of white light energy moving from the base of the spine, or stimulating the Kundalini energy from the base. And if you've been here from day one, you know what we're working with is safety and security at the base. If you were here for day 2, you know it's all about connection and connecting that safety and security, that energy, to another or to others. And then finally, last week, we worked on the solar plexus, which was being powerful and connected and purposeful, right? So again, it's a power and it's a purpose, and it's all based off that connection. So now we're sharing it with all others, right? We're finding our purpose, our mission, our providence in life. And today we find the highest level. So as we slowly tap the tailbone, what we want to work through is safety and security, connection, power into love, right? Because I think it was Jimi Hendrix that said that when the power of peace is over, or the power of, that's what it is, when the love for power is overcome by the power of love, we will know true peace. So that is it. So when we have the love for power, the third chakra is overcome by the power of love. And that's the fourth chakra. You see why we have 2 different chakras? They're different. Then we will know true peace. And as I'm talking, you're seeing the movement. All I'm doing is just very gentle taps. I'm not hitting, right? This is not the yang style Kundalini. But again, you can go a little quicker and just little tiny taps. And having that bolster there just eases it off. And this is where we start to deviate from the traditional, obviously, restorative practice where we just fully surrender. We're going to stir up some energy. We're going to kick up some dust. And each week we focus on a different chakra. So far, we've been going in a linear way. And so again, today, where we're meeting at the heart chakra, this is really the center point. All those other weeks have sort of culminated into this week. And everything that sort of goes beyond this point also culminates in this week, because the heart is really the peak experience, right? The chakras are not so much linear as they are a mountain. And at the top of the mountain is the heart chakra, right? This is the peak experience. So all I'm doing is lifting tailbone up and down and getting those taps. And again, by teaching, it's almost like you forget about it, right? By listening, by getting into the flow, you forget about it. So again, let's start to breathe and feel. We're going to do a little bit more aggressive breathing as we continue to do this movement, and maybe the movement changes because of it. Okay, so now we're going to inhale, exhale through the mouth. Okay. And trust me when I say this, you're going to really feel it in your heart center. The heart center is the hidden chakra. discover, explore this hidden chakra we call the heart. Maybe bring your knees in a little bit, feet a little wider. Breathing through it, through the mouth. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. The heart chakra is all about air, the element of air, feeling light as a feather. 5. You're walking out the feet a little bit more, knees a little bit closer. 3. 2. Coming back to center. 1. Inhale, hold. Lift up, hold the body up for 10. 9, 8, 7. Let that Kundalini energy move through from the base of the spine to the heart. And when you're ready to come down, watch me. Soles of the feet together. Don't exhale just yet. Open up into cobbler and then exhale. Close your eyes, go inside and just feel that energy. Right? We are playing around. Right? When people take things too seriously, the very first thing they need to not take seriously, the first rule of the heart, is don't take yourself too seriously. Because the heart is the space where we give forgiveness. The heart is the space we give compassion. The heart is the space we give and receive forgiveness and compassion. The heart is the peak, the pinnacle, and it's right at the center of ourselves. And that's why when we really truly understand the heart is like infinity. It is everywhere and it is nowhere. It is everywhere and it is nowhere. Right? It is non-separate from the source. So everything around us, everything within us, what we call the heart, is that space, that sacred space that dwells within and around everything and everyone. That's why we can send metta, or loving compassion or kindness to others, to ourselves. That's why we can forgive and not forget. Cognitively, we can still understand maybe perhaps what happened or what went wrong. But love, forgiveness, compassion allows us to overcome, allows us to move forward, allows us to really truly understand that the journey is the destination, and that we learn from the hard times in order to get to this place of compassion and forgiveness. Because the sweet is never as sweet without the sour. There is no such thing as up without down. There is no such thing as cold without hot. There is no sun without moon. There's no moon without sun. There's no you without me. We are connected. We're breathing in the breath of every living, breathing being. And so now we're going to give love, forgiveness, and compassion to ourselves. We're going to give and receive love, forgiveness, and compassion from others. It all comes through the heart center. And with our arms open, with our hips open, with our heads open, we're going to do 10 Brahmari. And we're just going to keep relaxing. And this is where I said, this is where it borders lines on a restorative class, because we are holding the position for extreme amounts of time. But that's okay. If the cobbler is bothering you, just straighten the legs or bring the soles of the feet back down. All right. But again, with all that stimulation of the tailbone to bring the energy up, now it's our time to evoke it and really expand it. And there's nothing better than Brahmari to do that. So we inhale and we Brahmari from the heart center, love, compassion, forgiveness for ourselves and for others. Giving and receiving at the same time. Relax your body, relax your mind. Full inhale, full exhale. Halfway point. That's five. Five more to go. Feeling the element of air, of lightness, light as a feather. Last two. Make it your best, make it your strongest. Last one, make your strongest. Love, compassion, forgiveness for all beings, including yourself. And return to natural breathing. And feel free to sigh it out. Natural breath in. Natural sigh out. Relax your head. Relax your heart. Relax your hips. And just be guided into that space, that heart space. As we focus on the heart chakra, the yantra, the symbol, the shape is that of a double triangle. It is the shape of a star. Two triangles, one vertical, the other inverse vertical, so downward. So we have upward triangle, downward triangle. And again, both meeting in the center. Not at the basis, it's not a diamond, it's a star. And so these two triangles, by centering themselves on each other, form a remarkable shape. The star really is something exquisite. When you feel the double triangle inside of you, you feel the inhale as the prana, the uplifting, the expanding, and that comes from the heart. And when you exhale, you feel the downward, the inward, the apana. And again, that comes from the heart. So the center in the physical sense for the feminine is in the hips. And the center for the masculine, for the sense of the masculine, is in the shoulders. So where is the divine arrival? Where is that light and loving meeting place between these two energies, between the masculine, between the feminine, between the yin, between the yang? Well, it's always and forever in the heart. And that's what we're feeling right now. And as we breathe and be, we can experience this union in true communion. And that's what chakra meditation is all about. Because chakra meditation is all about communicating or having this communion with yourself through yourself. And that's the yoga. The yoga is the union. The chakra meditation is the communion. When we do both, chakra meditation yoga, that's the communion of union and the union of communion. It is a spiritual practice. That is why the studio is called In the Spirit. This is what we are exercising. This is what we are working out. The workout is the liberation. After the workout, there's just a feeling of bliss. That's the work in. So as we work out, we work into our bliss. We work into our joy. And work into our happiness. And the only thing that prevents us from working into that is ourselves. And that's why we have to work ourselves out of our own story and storytelling. So as we breathe and be here, we're absorbing the teachings. We're accepting the things that we cannot change about ourselves. And by accepting them, you don't need to change them. You don't want to change them. They just are. So they're liberated. That's the workout. You're working it out through acceptance, through awareness of that acceptance. And then once you have that awareness of acceptance, now you can just be and breathe, because everything that you could ever want or be, you already have and are. And that's why we rest in the heart. And that's why we have forgiveness, because forgiveness is for ourselves, because without it, anger, jealousy, guilt, shame, it's just poison to ourself, to our love, to our compassion, to our forgiveness. And that's why these words exist, to overcome those very natural states that in the practice of yoga, we liberate ourselves from, in order to understand the meaning of our being, which is freedom. And again, that is the word for the heart chakra, freedom. And what is free? We are free. And that's why the heart is as light as a feather, going all the way back to ancient Egypt. The mythology, the spirituality, the practice has existed for thousands of years. Christianity, Buddhism also adapted love and compassion, awareness, consciousness evolving from Krishna consciousness, from the Bhagavad Gita, from the origins of the yoga, where the first yoking of two becoming one. Man and God became each other. We were no longer separate from divinity. And when I say man, I mean mankind. I mean humankind, or being, which is even more universal, which includes the stones, the trees, and that's what the ancient yogis knew, both masculine and feminine, both renunciate and tantrika, both traditional and unconventional. This radical consciousness that allows us, that supports not just our freedom, but the ability to know it, to taste it, to breathe it, to embody it. And that's why we need the courage to change the things we can. And the acceptance and serenity, as the prayer goes, the wisdom to know the difference. The courage to change the things we can, acceptance of the things we can't, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that's why we're now slowly going to rock our head side to side, twinkle our fingers like stars, bringing the knees slowly back together. You've kept them open, and we're just going to make our way to a sitting position, but very slowly, because now we're going to take the work up now. We've worked on the chakra. We transitioned from a restorative style practice that we've been doing at this time for years into a new form, which is a chakra meditation. So now we're going to sit up, because we're going to let that energy go from a horizontal back bend position, which we're in now, to a vertical upright position. Again, fully supported, but we're going to move that energy now towards the sky rather than along the earth, working with the cardinal directions, right? Not just with up and down, but also side to side, right? Beautiful. Rocking the knees side to side, twisting, letting it go, letting it flow left and right. And nice and slow. There's absolutely no rush to get to where we're going. We've already arrived. We're already in the heart chakra. We're already doing the work. We're just going to receive more of what we've already done. And again, remember, the simpler it is, its origins are very complex. I know that sounds oxymoronic, but it's true, right? Simplicity is complicated understood. So if this seems really natural and normal, trust me when I say, to get to where we are took a lot of work, a lot of understanding, a lot of learning, a lot of integrating. But all of you have put that time into the practice, and that's why you're experiencing today. You wouldn't be experiencing today if you weren't ready to receive. You are a beer, right? You are a receiver, right? The energy comes to you because it moves through you. So we've moved it on the horizontal plane, and the heart had a really nice apex and pinnacle because of our beautiful bolster to support us. But now we're going to bring it up. And so now this is why the chakras take a linear journey, right? Because once we sit up, they kind of stack one on top of each other. But that doesn't mean the heart still isn't the peak experience. So with this feeling, this element of air connected to it, with this feeling of liberation and realization, let's slowly, slowly roll onto one side, and let's come up to a comfortable seated position. I'm just gonna lift that up a little bit for you. Beautiful. You can see me a bit better. Now, when we come up to the seated position, sit on the bolster. And the reason why we want to do this is, again, we want to be comfortable, because comfort is how we begin. And if you want to learn more about comfort, come to yin, right? Yin is a wonderful way to learn how to be comfortable in the uncomfortable, right? That's the key. So finding your way in a comfortable position, ankles and knees connect, or if you have the flexibility, if you came to 9 o'clock class, rise and reflect, right? Or you just naturally have it, see if you can bring the heels towards the tailbone. Good, right? And that just centers us nicely. Again, everything is nice and comfortable in my body. There's no not comfortable. And if there is, I'm just moving, right? Micro movements. And remember, the micro movement is the medicine for our bodies, right? Micro movements help us move through the pain that is insurmountable, right? It helps us move through the anger that is overwhelming, right? You don't make big moves when you're in those states. You make little moves, and small changes make the big differences. So again, when you're sitting, always feel that you can move like a reed in the wind, right? That the grasses, right, that flow, right? Your spine is like a wick to a candle, right? The wick keeps the flame going. Flame can dance. Okay, so allow yourself to be a flame. Good. And so we begin again this beautiful journey that we're on through the chakra of the heart. So sitting up nice and tall, getting into your heart center. You can place your hands on your heart and just connect with your heart. We're going to do, again, 10 deep breaths in, 10 deep breaths out, just to connect. It can be through the nose. I like to exhale through the mouth because I like to release the whole thing. Join me, 10. Right, moving groove. No right or wrong, 9. Eyes open, eyes closed, 8. 7. 6. 5. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, hold. And as you hold the breath, form a lotus. Connect your pinkies and your thumbs, open up your fingers, and keep holding the breath, and hold that lotus, and hold the breath as long as you can. And when you can't hold the breath any longer, you just go into prayer position. So hold the lotus as long as you can hold the breath in. There's no time limit. But whenever you're done, you just exhale, go back to prayer, and then inhale again, and then open up into your lotus. So you don't have to hold super long. You can if you want to. Your blossom is your own. You are blossoming right now. You are blossoming with love. You are blossoming with forgiveness. You are blossoming with compassion. These are all characteristics. These are all positive attributes of the heart. These are the most noblest qualities we can give to ourselves, and therefore, by extension, we can give to others. Nothing greater. It's greater than money. It's greater than time. It's greater than space, because it's loving time, right? It's loving space. It's loving resources. Good. And when you're ready, just slowly, slowly exhale. Whenever you're ready, come into a prayer position. Good. And now we're going to chant the mantra Ma. The mantra Ma connects with our heart center. It also is the divine word for the feminine. Ma. It's also the prefix for the word greatness, Maha. So we're going to chant the word Ma for the heart today. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to inhale and we're going to exhale. Ma. Emphasize the M, emphasize the Ah. Mm. Inhale, form your lotus. Exhale as you chant Ma, slowly close the lotus. Mm. Inhale, open the lotus and chant. Mm. 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 One more, make it your strongest. Natural breath, sigh it out. Bring your hands to your knees, palms up, palms down, whichever you prefer. And just sit up nice and tall. Again, your spine can move with a gentle breeze. Remember, the heart is the element of air. So allow yourself to be filled with air, with wind, with spirit, with the invisible, made visible by the feeling. You can feel it. What we're going to meditate today is on a bit of a journey that you're going to take inside your mind's eye. And it's going to have a lesson. This lesson will help you liberate yourself from that which is not love, that which is possessive, that which is maybe jealous, that which is maybe fearful. So we're going to clear through the guilt, we're going to clear through the shame, and we're going to clear through the regret, and we're going to unburden ourselves through a guided meditation on the heart. So imagine something of great value to you, something that in this life, if you were to lose it, it could not be replaced. Okay? We all have something that we possess, that we own, that we created. And this one thing is something that we must, not should or could. This one thing is something we must love. And because we must love it, by reciprocation, by reciprocity, it loves us. There's no need for compassion. There's no need for forgiveness. There's just love. Whatever this thing is, person, place, or thing, this noun, this verb, this action, whatever it is, can't be replaced in this lifetime. It's very precious to you. It can be physical or non-physical, material or non-material, corporeal, incorporeal. And you have love, deep, deep, deep love for it. And by reciprocation, even if it's an object, that object loves you. You don't own this object doesn't own you. You can own it, and it can own you too. But right now, what I'm asking for is something higher. You love it, it loves you, even if it's an object. If it's a person, even easier. But it's a being. And I want you to hold on to this being, and I want you to see it as a being. Don't see it as a person, place, or thing. Don't see it as an action. See it as a being in your mind's eye very clearly. And let it become, through your imagination, a very powerful yantra, right? A symbolic thing of that thing. So let's say mine was my mother. right? I can't replace her in this lifetime. Very precious to me. And I love, and she loves the same. Right? She could argue that she loves me more, and I can argue that I love her more, but that's not the point we're trying to make here. Just be guided to a very clear, clean place of awareness. And just notice the power, the connection, and the safety and security that is all enveloped in this thing you love. Safety and security, connection, power. These three attributes, the lower chakras, all attribute, all support what love is. You can't have love without these things. Love is a manifestation, a conglomerate of many narratives, known and unknown. And so when we sit in the meditation, when we sit with being, when we sit within and around it. We move through it, not over, not above it, right? Not below, not underneath it. We move through it because the heart chakra is all about moving through itself because it's the double triangle, vertical and also downward. It's a star. And so we're seeding this star, right? We're seeding it inside ourselves through this being, through this object, through this noun, through this verb, whatever it is, this single pointed attention, this drishti. Good. And now what I want you to do is I want you to leave it where it is, wherever it is in your mind's eye, just like this, just leave it where it is. Wherever you see that person, place, thing, that very precious thing, just leave it where it is. And now I want you to take a journey beyond. We're going to take a journey beyond where you are right now, beyond that thing. And we're going to be moving towards somewhere very special and sacred. Even more sacred, even more special than what it is you were just with. Because that was the communion of union. Now we're going right into pure union, pure darshan, pure heart space. And this heart space can be filled with light and can be filled with love. It can be a paradise. It can be anything it wants to be. It is the most sacred, the holy of holies, the temple of temples. When they say your body is a temple, this space I'm talking about inside of you, sharing, teaching, manifesting, creating, this is the holy of holies. And we're going to manifest it now in our mind's eye with 10 Brahmari. Deep breath in. Mm. Last one. And in this sacred space, in this holy of holies, in the center of your heart center, realize, make it real, that no matter what happens to this very precious thing that cannot be replaced in this lifetime, realize no matter what happens to it, good, bad, here, then, now, later, no matter what change it undergoes, because the only thing that doesn't change in this universe is change itself. I'd like, I'd need myself to accept the things I cannot change. And one of those things is that this thing is going to change. This person, place, thing, object, action, being is going to change. And as it changes, can I accept it? And your heart, being as loving as it is, should be whispering, ought to be whispering, must be whispering, yes. Because that's the union of communion. That's the non-separation in all that is separate. And then we take it one more step. This being, this noun, this verb, this object, this thing that cannot be replaced. Can we, self-directed, realize that when things need, like, want to be changed, do we have the courage to do it? To be the change we seek by practicing what we preach. Courage. So can we allow and accept? Can we change and grow? And finally, No matter what happens to this precious thing, this precious person, this being of light and love, do we understand? Can we stand under it and realize the wisdom in any moment, in every moment, to know the difference? Breathing in, I. Breathing out, am. Breathing in, I. All the way to the third eye. Breathing out, am, all the way to the tailbone. And in between those breaths, you're going to silently say to yourself, love. I am. And on that exhale, you feel it. Part of the downward triangle, love. Inhale. As you hold the breath, love. I am love. I love, am love. I love, am love. I inhale, hold, love. Exhale, am, hold, love. Very powerful. Contains courage. It contains acceptance. It contains the wisdom to know I am love. Love am I. I love am. Love I am. Any way we arrange that breath pattern, any way we arrange these simple words, because remember, simple is complicated, understood. And this is the cosmic consciousness. We're connecting to our light, our love. We're connecting to our learning and our liberation. We're connecting to what is real through our realization of the present moment with our presence. Physical presence, emotional presence, mental presence. We are present. And we can feel the phenomena of our presence, expanding and contracting through the consciousness. Remember, love is infinite. It is everywhere and it is nowhere. It comes, it goes, but it never leaves. And that is the divine mystery. So with that beautiful meditation in our hearts, we're going to place our hands on our heart center once more. Left over right or right over left, whatever you prefer. I always imagine this like a bird. So again, just placing that beautiful spirit bird on our heart. Again, bird represents air, right? This light feeling. Okay? Light feeling. We're feeling the light, we're feeling the love, we're feeling the learning, we're feeling the liberation, we're feeling what is real through realization. That's what meditation and yoga are all about. bringing us from the unreal to the real, bringing us from the darkness to the light. It's a journey, not a destination. Beautiful. And because we've done so much work for the heart, we're going to clap. Yay, just start clapping. Yay, nice and strong, nice and strong. That's good. Good, yay. Should feel really good for your heart. Your heart is celebrating. Good, and bring the hands together. Also really good for our hearts. Now you sort of understand what's behind the curtain of this movement a little bit better, right? Where this movement came from for me. Came from a meditation on the heart. Right, this ability of rubbing the hands together, although it seems like we're creating a primordial fire using a bow and stick, right? That's what it seems like, very primitive and ancient, right? It's actually very modern and present because we're stimulating the neurofunctional and the neurostructural cortex, somatosensory, motor, sensory input, motor generation, output. Right? We're feeling the healing. We're awake to our waking and alive to our living. Right? One thing to think, it's another thing to think about what you're thinking. It's another thing to be aware of thinking about what you're thinking. Right? 3 levels. Right? Good. And open up. Right? Feel. Right? Heal. That is the key. Light as a feather. And we're going to chant the mantra Om as we slowly close the palms to close the practice. Deep breath in. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Peace, peace, peace. In your hearts, in your lives, and everything that you see, are, and be. The light in me sees and shares the light in you, in love, with love, through love. Thank you, everyone, for coming out today and sharing in this very special class. Namaste. Yay, everyone.
Yay. Wow. Fantastic. Beyond belief.
So happy to hear.
That was so profound.